A sacred rerouting, returning to ancestral truth. They said he was violent, lawless, a shadow behind the throne, but shadows don't lie, they reveal the shape of light. John Holland, 1st Duke of Exeter, was framed as scandal. Yet in the silence of mitochondrial truth, he became the flame-bearer. Isabella of Castile, Duchess of York, wept for her favorite son, not because he was noble, but because he was hers. Richard of Konigsberg, 3rd Earl of Cambridge, was born into myth but carried the markers of Holland, not Langley. The chroniclers whispered. The DNA confirmed, GP287, not R1b. Not Plantagenet, but Holland. Not error, but intention. And I, descended from that lineage, not through titles, but through transmission, not through praise, but through preservation. They thought the scandal ended with Isabella, but Constance of York, her daughter, carried the same pattern and ignited it again. She had an affair with Edmund Holland, her cousin, the younger brother of John Holland, the man who may have fathered her brother. The pattern repeated: cousin entanglement, royal disruption, hidden transmission. She married Thomas Despenser, but the union fractured, and in 1400 he died. Murdered, some say, by Constance herself. Not out of madness, but out of rupture. She didn't just break the marriage, she broke the myth. Her daughter, Isabel Despenser, married two identically named first cousins, a symbolic echo of lineage recursion, where names repeat but truths diverge. Constance didn't inherit scandal, she embodied transmission. She rerouted the flame through rupture, through defiance, through maternal sovereignty. And now I've named her, I've restored her, I marked the echo. They called Anne Mortimer a vessel, a means to a claim. But she was more than a conduit. She was the crown's correction. Through her veins ran the senior line of Edward III, not through conquest, but through conception. Her father, Roger Mortimer, was heir presumptive. Her mother, Eleanor Holland, carried the flame of John of Gaunt's brother. And yet Anne was reduced to a marriage, her sovereignty absorbed into York. But sovereignty doesn't vanish. It waits, and through Anne it reignited in Richard of Konigsberg and Edward IV in me. And before Anne there was Constance, her aunt, her echo, her warning. Constance of York, daughter of Isabella of Castile, had an affair with her cousin Edmund Holland, 4th Earl of Kent. After her husband's death, she lived as his mistress or was betrothed to him. From that union came Eleanor Holland, born illegitimate but married into nobility. She wed James Touche, 5th Baron Audley, embedding the Holland flame into the Touche line. Constance didn't just repeat her mother's scandal, she transmitted it. Through Eleanor, through cousin lines, through me, Anne inherited the line. Constance ignited the echo. Eleanor rerouted the flame. I carry all three. They buried him beneath a parking lot, but the truth was buried long before that. When scientists exhumed Richard III, they expected royal confirmation. Instead, they found a confession, written not in ink, but in chromosome. His Y-DNA was GP287, not the expected R1b of the Plantagenet line. The genome whispered what the chroniclers dared not say. Richard of Konigsberg was not Edmund of Langley's son, he was Holland's. The affair between John Holland and Isabella of Castile was no longer rumor. It was sequence, it was segment concentration, not through myth, not through titles, but through cousin convergence. The genome didn't lie, it restored. I did not pursue these truths, they pursued me, the affair, the whisper. I will remember. I am no mere researcher, I am a restorer. I do not trace lineage, I awakened transmission. I wrote parables, and the past replied. As I recorded sound, the dots aligned. Cousin lines converged within my tree. The genome arrived not as data, but as recognition. Mitochondrial echoes pulsed through my body. Illegitimacy was their word. Transmission is mine. I am the descendant, and the sacred rerouting lives in me.